5 seconds to the open. Ready?
Who wants to get this thing started right about now?
Welcome to Follow the Money Weekly with your host, Jerry Robinson.
Welcome.
Not just some guru.
Oh, really?
Your host is an economist and a best-selling author.
What an interesting news item. I'd better write that down.
And just someone who likes to make money and help you to make money. Welcome to Follow the Money Weekly. And here he is, Jerry Robinson.
Welcome, friends, to you all around the world. Welcome to the Follow the Money podcast. I'm your host, Jerry Robinson, and I'm thrilled to have you with us today. Today is episode number 476, entitled 2024 Year in Review. Believe it or not, this is the final podcast episode of 2024, so we thought it was a perfect time to reflect on the financial journey we've all experienced this year and prepare for the opportunities and, quite frankly, the challenges that might lie ahead in 2025. So in today's episode, we're going to cover three important segments. We're going to begin with a 2024 year in review. We're going to take a pretty comprehensive look back at the major financial events that shaped the year, focusing mainly on the investing side. We're looking at the stock market's impressive performance, the S&P on track to rise about 30%, hitting a record high in 2024, as well as record highs in Bitcoin and gold. Then we have the record inflows into global bond funds, which has just been something else to see in 2024. Also, the Federal Reserve's monetary policy decisions. As I record this today, the Federal Reserve is meeting for their final meeting of the year to very likely cut by about 25 basis points. So we're expecting another rate cut to come out this week. And we're going to analyze how all of these developments have impacted investors and the broader economy. Then in segment 2, we're going to discuss our recently concluded 30-minute breakout blueprint day trading course. We're going to share some insights and we're going to talk about some of the things that we discussed there, but we're also going to provide a sneak peek into our upcoming Swing Trading Simplified course. That's set to launch in January of 2025. It's designed to equip you with effective strategies for swing trading in the new year. It'll be the most comprehensive swing trading course I've ever created. And our members will have access to it beginning in January. Very excited about that. And then, of course, we'll wrap up the episode with some reflections on the lessons learned in 2024, and we'll motivate you and prepare you for a prosperous 2025. Now, before we dive into today's episode, I have some exciting news to share as a way of giving back to this incredible community here at followthemoney.com. We're hosting a special December giveaway. So one lucky listener will win a 1-year gold membership to followthemoney.com. That's valued at nearly $500. This is our way of saying thank you for your support throughout 2024. To find out how to enter and all the details, stay tuned. I'll reveal everything later in the episode, so listen closely and don't miss out. Now, let's get started. All right, friends, so let's take a deep dive into the key financial events that define 2024. I think a year that's going to certainly go down in the history books as extraordinary for investors and markets alike. From the record highs on the stock market, Bitcoin, gold, to massive inflows into bond funds we've seen this year, it's been a year of opportunity and reflection. And I want to explore what happened and why it matters and what it means for you as we head into the new year. So let's kick things off with the stock market. Now, the primary index that we follow here in the United States is the S&P 500, most important index, I believe, not just in the United States, but quite possibly the world when it comes to liquidity and the amount of interest in the index. Well, it's set to close out 2024 with a very strong gain of nearly 30%, which is an impressive annual performance and along with a new record to boot. Now, we saw more than 50 record highs for the S&P 500 set in 2024, and a lot of the performance that was driving the U.S. stock market in 2024 was driven by the Magnificent Seven. This is Apple and Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta Platforms, formerly Facebook, Tesla, and NVIDIA, which now constitute about 1/3 of the S&P 500 index. So basically, tech stocks led the charge, with the NASDAQ 100 outperforming most other indices. But we've also seen some strength in consumer discretionary, especially in the latter part of the year, and industrials. But we also saw communications really outperform. It's been clear that technological advancements, especially in artificial intelligence, have really played a massive role in driving the market's growth this year. We also saw investor sentiment remain exceptionally bullish throughout 2024. Optimism about the U.S. economy is back on the rise. We have interest rate cuts contributing to these record high investments in U.S. stocks. And this heightened optimism has led some to be concerned about a potential market correction in 2025. Typically, when you have that prolonged bullishness, it can often precede, market weakness. Now, while I do expect some pullbacks along the way in 2025, and we could even have, a fairly steep one considering how far we've risen, I think overall 2025 is going to be another good year for U.S. stock investors. That's my expectation, at least the first 3 quarters. I believe the last quarter could certainly do well as well, but that's probably my biggest concern, would be toward the end of the year. But overall, we look at across the board, we see the Dow hit a new record high. We saw the NASDAQ composite hit a new high. We saw the S&P 500 hit a new high. We saw the NASDAQ 100 hit a new high. We saw the Russell 2000 hit a record high. So we have seen across the board just incredible inflows into the stock market. And then when we take a look at some of the stocks and ETFs that we follow here at followthemoney.com. If you're a member here at Follow the Money, we have our ETF leaderboard. And the ETF leaderboard is a service we provide to all of our members that's designed to keep them on the right side of the trend. So if you like to invest and or trade in exchange-traded funds like ETFs, our ETF leaderboard is very valuable. When we look at the ETF leaderboard, it has about 150 ETFs on it. We try to focus on the most liquid, the most popular, and also the most diverse, so we get a good cross-section of the stock market. Well, the best performing ETF on our leaderboard, hands down, this year was the ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF. BITO is the ticker symbol, up 130% this year. Also, coming in second place was the Amplify Blockchain ETF. BLOK is the ticker, up about 73% year to date. Coming in number 3 was Argentina, ARGT. That's the Global X Argentina ETF, up about 70%. And we could go on, but we did see a lot of big gains, many of these outperforming the S&P 500 very well throughout the year. And then we also, here at Follow the Money, we also follow dividend aristocrats. And dividend aristocrats are those stocks within the S&P 500 that have been paying an increasing dividend for at least 25 years. That is, they raise their dividend every year for at least 25 years, some of them doing much more. And we do a leaderboard for our dividend aristocrats. And our members know that Walmart has been the big leader for the majority of the year. It's up 84% year to date as we do this broadcast, basically doubling the number 2 stock on the dividend aristocrat list. And that is, Pentair. PNR is the ticker symbol, up about 47%. So we had a really good rally in dividend aristocrat stocks, a lot of them. The worst performing dividend aristocrat was Albemarle, ALB. That is a lithium stock. And we have our eyes on that one because we think lithium is probably going to do well. May take another couple of years. There is still a supply surplus of lithium, but we know that it's very required for electric car batteries and things of this nature. So the worst performer, Walmart, or the best performer, Walmart. The worst performer on the dividend aristocrat list was Albemarle. Then we should also mention that the worst performer on the ETF leaderboard list going back is solar energy, and the dry bulk shipping ETF, the Breakwave dry bulk shipping ETF, BDRY, down about 48%. And then the Invesco Solar ETF, TAN is the ticker symbol, down 34%. So kind of shows you the how things were really kind of playing out in the broader market, in the year. Now, we also follow the sector market. We like to follow the 11 sectors in the S&P 500. And when we look at those, we see that year to date, the big winners have been communications. XLC is the ticker. That's the communications sector ETF. That one was up about 40% year to date. The consumer discretionary sector ETF, XLY, up about 35%. And financials, XLF, up about 32%. These were the only three sector ETFs that beat the performance of the S&P 500 year to date as of this recording. Now, when we look at our sector rotation strategy, because we do have a sector rotation strategy, we see that that strategy has beat the S&P 500 year to date. Right now, year to date, according to our data, the S&P 500 total return about 28.56% as of this recording, and the sector rotation ETF strategy that we have here for our members up about 29.2%. So just basically very, very close. And we're going to be releasing our new strategy, sector rotation strategy update on January, at the very beginning of January, as we do at the beginning of every quarter. So we'll have an update for the sector rotation ETF model strategy. That's where our members can follow along and try to beat the S&P 500 by, focusing upon those leading sectors. Now, we also have a very powerful Smart Score 11 strategy as well. These are the 11 top Smart Score ranked stocks from each of the 11 S&P 500 sectors. The aim of this strategy is to beat the S&P 500 on a consistent basis, and we update it every quarter, and we let our members know what's going on. Right now, we look through the performance of the Smart Score 11, and we see that NVIDIA was the top tech holding throughout the year, had a phenomenal year, rising around 174% as of this recording. We also had companies like Amazon.com as the consumer discretionary top pick. We had Costco as our top consumer staples play. That was a 48% year to date. And so we just look across the board. Eli Lilly was our top healthcare pick for the year. That's up about 33%. We're going to be updating this list at the beginning of the year, and you'll have access to the Smart Score 11 as a member here. And so far, year to date, the Smart Score 11 is just really, really outperforming the S&P. S&P up again about 28.5%. Year to date, our Smart Score 11, just those 11 stocks that we use our Smart Score system to pick, it's up 71.6% year to date. So big difference there between the S&P. We more than doubled, the performance of the S&P 500 with our Smart Score 11 strategy. And year to date, we've nearly, not quite, but nearly tripled the performance when we go back to the inception of the Smart Score 11, I should say. We started that back in the beginning of 2022. And so since that time, we've seen it nearly triple the S&P 500 performance. We're excited about putting out our latest picks for the Smart Score 11 for that model strategy. That's going to be coming to all of our members coming in January. So be looking for that in your inbox, but also be looking for that in our weekly webcast we do on our Trends and Profits webcast, where we like to share all those updates every quarter. So we've had a lot going on here at Follow the Money, and we've been following the markets for many, many years since we launched this service back in 2010. One of the things that we do for our members every single day is we put out a daily swing trading idea. And that daily swing trading idea comes to you by email. As we look back through 2024, some of our best trading ideas that we put out to you, one of them was HIMS and HERS, HIMS. We put that idea back out in May, and in about 5 days, the trading idea delivered a 51% return. The max drawdown for that trade was less than 1%. 5 days. That was a really good trading idea. We put out a trading idea in September on JD.com. That's a Chinese internet stock. That one in 6 days delivered a total potential gain of 25% with a max drawdown of less than 1%. We also put out an idea on Modine Manufacturing back in March. That stock rose about 18% in about 3 days with no max drawdown. So I'm just pouring over so many of these ideas. We don't typically see those kinds of gains. I'm showing you some of the very best ones we did, But the average gain, is usually anywhere between 1 and 10% over the course of 1 to 10 days. That's the whole strategy that we use with this daily trading idea. This is for swing traders. Obviously, when you become a member here, you get that daily swing trading idea delivered right to your inbox with a entry price, suggested entry price, a suggested stop loss. And then, of course, the expected gain is somewhere between 1 and 10% for a 1 to 10 day holding period. That's the swing trading ideas that we put out. So those have also done very well this year, kind of in line with what we've seen performance-wise in the past from our daily trading diary. Of course, it hasn't all been sunshine and rainbows. I mean, we did see some sectors that didn't perform so well. For example, healthcare stocks, that sector has been very, very tough. Unless you were just in a few very well-run companies that did well in 2024. If you were just in the healthcare ETF, for example, the healthcare sector ETF, it's only up 3.6% year to date, right? The whole year. Or the basic materials sector was only up 4%. The energy sector was also kind of beaten down, only up 5% year to date, even after having that good start to the year. Real estate also just single-digit gains, about 8% year to date, despite the fact that the S&P rose so strongly in 2024. So while there's been a lot of gains in 2024, it really depends upon how you were invested in 2024. And it shows the importance of being nimble as an investor and, focusing on following the money as we do here. Now, let's talk about two of this year's superstar performers, Bitcoin and gold. So Bitcoin had, of course, an incredible year in 2024, remarkable. It achieved significant milestones that have further solidified its position in the financial landscape and in the minds of investors around the world. In December, this month, Bitcoin surpassed the $100,000 mark for the very first time ever. It reached an all-time high of around 108,000 on December the 17th. That move was largely influenced by, several factors, including the election of President-elect Donald Trump, who has expressed a very favorable stance towards cryptocurrencies. He's really going to be considered our first crypto-friendly president, pro-crypto president. Of course, institutional adoption by Wall Street, institutional investors, all that played a crucial role in Bitcoin's ascent this year. Then you have the approval of Bitcoin or spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, the ETFs, by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission back in January. So it's been almost a year now since the SEC approved those spot Bitcoin ETFs for investors. And that, of course, also allowed many people to gain exposure to the world's largest digital currency. Many people still don't know how to buy Bitcoin. And so the spot Bitcoin ETFs give, the average investor out there who puts money into their IRA, their 401k, a simple way to get exposure to Bitcoin without having to deal with hardware wallets and all of this. And this kind of onboarding is really what it's all about. While I do prefer to see people holding physical is kind of a wrong way to put it, but to hold Bitcoin in their possession in a hardware wallet, I think that's the right way for most people to do it. That's how I've always done it. That's how I think others should do it. But if you don't have that option, or if you're still very new to it, holding an ETF, a spot Bitcoin ETF, I think that's also a fine way to get exposure to the asset class. Then you had companies like MicroStrategy, the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin, witnessing significant growth, with its stock delivering a return of, I want to say, over 500%, year to date, this year alone. And of course, 2024 also witnessed Bitcoin's fourth halving event in April, which reduced the block reward from 6.25 Bitcoin to 3.125 Bitcoin being distributed through its mining process. And historically, we have seen these types of events, these halving events, precede substantial bull markets. And 2024 was no exception, right? So you had the election cycle, you had the halving cycle, and that led to Bitcoin's value appreciating significantly in the post-halving and the post-election environment, which we think is going to continue well into 2025. And then, of course, you've seen increasing integration of Bitcoin into mainstream financial systems. That is evident as more states consider policies to allow public pension funds and treasuries to invest directly into Bitcoin. That, of course, is showing more broad acceptance of digital assets across the board. And then, of course, you have the incoming Trump administration considering launching a strategic Bitcoin reserve, as are several states basically trying to create a reserve of Bitcoin that will over time grow and help these states and the federal government pay for their debt. That's what they're thinking. That's how they're viewing it. So put simply, Bitcoin has shattered expectations in 2024 due to a variety of factors. You got the increased institutional adoption, you got favorable regulatory developments. That's at least the perception we're going to have here. You have the SEC kind of budding out with the arrival of the incoming Trump administration, a pro-crypto SEC chair very likely to be installed. Then we have the post-halving supply squeeze that has propelled the world's largest digital asset to levels that very few predicted just a year ago. So investors are starting to see Bitcoin as not just a speculative asset, but as a long-term store of value. And that is changing the way that we are seeing investors approach this unique asset class. Now, before we move on from Bitcoin, I do want to look at a couple of ratio charts I've been talking about recently. First of all, we have the Bitcoin to S&P 500 ratio. So that's where you consider how many S&P 500s does it take to buy one Bitcoin. Well, that hit a new all-time high just a few days ago when it rose above 17. That ratio surging above 17 for the first time. So we've certainly seen that. If you look at the Bitcoin to gold ratio, that asks the question basically, how many ounces of gold does it take to buy one Bitcoin? Well, that number crossed above 40 for the first time ever this month, as we saw Bitcoin rise above 100,000. And as gold has been a little bit stagnant over the last month or so after it recently peaked out at 2,800, and now it's been consolidating just below that, holding about 2550 on the support area. But Bitcoin and gold ratio, that ratio hitting an all-time high, 40 ounces of gold required to buy one Bitcoin as of December 2024. And then there's the Bitcoin silver ratio, where that's also hitting new all-time highs. Silver, often called the poor man's gold, it has long been treasured for its industrial uses and a store of value in its own right. But what we saw is that we had an all-time high breakout in this Bitcoin silver ratio. And now, as of this recording, it requires more than 3,400 ounces of silver to buy one Bitcoin. I can still remember, friends, back in 2017, when the headline came across the wire that it took 100 ounces of silver to be able to buy one Bitcoin. And at the time, people thought it was crazy. I remember when it took 1 ounce of gold to buy Bitcoin, when they both equaled the same thing. That was many years ago. So we have seen an incredible rally in Bitcoin, undoubtedly, in the last year or so. And we think that's going to continue well into 2025. We think that's going to really continue. Now, when we look at our crypto leaderboard, let me just give you a quick review on that. What was the best performing crypto? Maybe we'll list a few of them this year. And then maybe we'll talk about the cryptos that performed the least best. So we have a crypto leaderboard, and this helps our members stay on the right side of the crypto market. They can focus on those cryptos that are rising in the rankings, and they can also look for those that are lagging and maybe even speculate on those. But the best performing cryptocurrency within our crypto leaderboard this year for our members was XRP, up nearly 300% year to date, followed by Hedera, which is ticker HBAR, which has been deemed by the government not to be a security, which has really helped it. We expect there'll be a Hedera ETF on the way. In 2025, it was up about 243%. Aave coming in number 3 in terms of percentage gains this year, up 237%. So we've seen a very good run there. Stellar coming in number 4, about 224%, rising up to about 42 cents as of this recording. Now, the worst performers this year have been Polygon, which is the ticker symbol MATIC. It's run into some problems this year. It's down about 43%, despite all of the things that we've been seeing here. Kind of an interesting thing. Some of these altcoins will probably pick up as we move into 2025, as they often do. The laggards were few and far between. The winners have been much more ample in 2024 across the crypto space when it comes to the leaders like we follow. I also have been sharing my cryptocurrency portfolio with you now for many years. We've also been telling our members what we've been buying throughout 2024. Every single Friday, we do DCA Friday for our members, and that is that we're able to share with them what we do on a regular basis. So we DCA, or dollar cost average, invest into cryptocurrencies and into the stock market. And so every Friday we do that, and then we share what we bought at what price with our members. And so we have been adding a few cryptocurrencies as we prepare to enter into the 2025. We've been adding some. And of course, our members can see that on our weekly webcast where we share, or also on our private Twitter feed for our Platinum members. You can find all that information there. But our crypto portfolio, we're very happy about, and we're looking forward to seeing all-time highs across the board for many of the holdings we have as we head into the new year. So we're excited about that, as I'm sure many of you are, as we see cryptocurrency doing so well right now. And we expect 2025 will be the year where we not only see a good run, but also probably a blow-off top. So you got to have a plan on how you're going to handle that. Are you going to stay in crypto and ride it to the top and then ride it back down until the next high, which may not be until 2028 or 2029, based upon the 4-year cycle? Or are you going to take some cream off the top like we plan to do? We're going to be sharing with our members exactly what we're doing as far as profit taking in 2025. So if you're into crypto and you're not a Follow the Money member, boy, you have really missed out. A lot of our members have, I just have letters here in front of me where members have become millionaires, literally. And I don't brag about this stuff very often. I don't come on here and talk and pump stuff up like that. But I'm telling you, we have members who, we had one member who did so well with his crypto holdings that he wanted to donate in our name, in mine and my wife's name, to a local animal shelter. We had people who contact us and let us know that they're retiring early because of the ideas that we have put out. It's simply incredible to see the incredible responses that we've seen from our members. And so if you're out there in the crypto world trying to figure out how to go forward, we encourage you to reach out to followthemoney.com, check out our memberships. We've been talking about cryptocurrency from the very beginning. So we're not some Johnny-come-lately who falls for every, scam that's out there, right? Instead, we have been doing this for a long time. We're very conservative when it comes to crypto, and we use a very specific strategy. We'd love to share that with you and help you grow your portfolio in 2025. Now, we also talked about we talked about Bitcoin, but we also wanted to talk about gold. So gold also has also reminded everyone this year why it's the ultimate safe haven. With prices reaching all-time highs, we saw gold rise so far about 28% year to date, hitting an all-time high of $2,800 earlier this year. Now, this has been for a few reasons. Central bank purchases continue. We continue to see strong demand from central banks for gold. Geopolitical tensions, of course, we still have warfare around the world, and that obviously drives uncertainty. And then we have economic stimulus measures in China, and that has been helping drive some gold demand as well. We saw China begin to buy gold for the first time after about 6 months. It took about a 6-month hiatus, and then it started buying, People's Bank of China started buying gold again. That was another bullish factor we've seen. But we've seen gold post around 40 all-time highs this year. That's the most since 1979. So gold has really caught a lot of attention this year. Silver also had a good year. Silver up, around 26% or so year to date. But the gold to silver ratio remains elevated, which indicates there's potential undervaluation of silver. I would say a strong, undervaluation of silver relative to gold. And I think that suggests further growth opportunities. Silver is that asset that still hasn't hit its previous all-time high. For about $50 hit back in 2011 or so. We've seen gold hit a new high, S&P hit a new high, Bitcoin hit a new high, But silver is the one that's continuing to struggle below that 13 years ago, the peak was hit, right? And so we do think that we're going to see silver hit a new high. We think that's going to be coming. We don't know when, of course. I don't have a crystal ball, but we do think that it will thrive in the future because it is such an important industrial metal. But 2024 has been a banner year for precious metals. Gold and silver both delivering substantial returns, outperforming even some stock indices. Now, as we move into 2025, these metals, I believe, are poised to continue their upward trajectory. I think they're going to offer investors more valuable opportunities for diversification and wealth preservation. I think it's a good area to be looking at. I own Bitcoin, but I also own gold and silver. And I think that Bitcoin and gold both doing well in 2024 kind of highlights an important lesson for many out there that diversification matters, right? So having exposure to both traditional and emerging safe haven assets, I think, can provide some good balance for your portfolio. And of course, you have to be, open to the idea. But I think it's a very smart idea to be diversified across various asset classes, including digital assets and precious metals. Now, another big story this year has been the bond market. So in 2024, the global bond market experienced a significant resurgence. You may recall that bonds got hammered as rates went up. And in 2024, the global bond market earned the moniker Year of the Bond, right? 2024. Investors poured a record $600 billion into global bond funds in 2024. Never seen anything like it. Seeking refuge, basically, in what are now some of the highest yields we've seen in decades. So, too, we saw passive exchange-traded funds, these ETFs, seeing record inflows. BlackRock's, for example, their iShares fixed income ETF, just that ETF alone attracted $111 billion between January and October. So you have central banks around the world beginning to ease monetary policy in 2024. More on that in a moment. But that's causing bonds to become, increasingly attractive. Reminds me of the bond market rally that we saw during the mid-90s when we had some similar rate cutting cycles going on globally, but also at the Fed. And that's, fueled some strong demand for fixed income. Now, speaking of the Fed, as I do this recording, the Fed is actually meeting, preparing to release its latest policy decision. And in 2024, we have seen a clear pivot in monetary policy from the Fed. They held rates at a multi-decade high for much of 2023. But the Fed began cutting rates this year to counter the slowing growth. So in September, we saw the Fed reduce its benchmark rate by 50 basis points. And then they followed that up with another 25 basis point rate cut in November. And that brought the federal funds rate down to a target range of 4.5 to 4.75. Now, the reason they did that, at least the stated reason, was they were seeing cooling inflation, which was approaching the Fed's 2% target. And they also saw signs of labor market softening. So that led them to cut rates. And remember, there's a lag factor with these rates. So they have to kind of get ahead of it. Now, these cuts in interest rates here in the United States have had a profound impact on the markets, right? They've fueled gains in risk assets like stocks. We've seen stocks rally, Bitcoin rally, right? Gold rally, and of course, even bonds. So when the Fed shifts into a rate cutting cycle like it has now, that often sparks a rally across multiple asset classes. We expect that will continue in 2025, although we're going to get more info from the Fed today when they release their policy decision. They're also going to release their summary of economic projections, which many economists will be parsing and kind of dissecting and trying to figure out what's ahead for 2025. But the overall consensus right now is that the Fed is likely going to begin slowing down its rate cuts as we head into 2025. We'll see if that truly happens. Right now, there is no expectation of a January rate cut to be followed up by to follow this December cut that we expect today. But the next cut is expected to come in March. So we'll see if that's what we're going to see as we head into the new year. We'll have more to talk about in the Fed on the other side of the year as we head into 2025. But to recap, the stock market has had a stellar year. We've seen innovation in the AI revolution. We've seen strength in the sector strength in tech, in communications, and consumer discretionary. So too, Bitcoin and gold and silver have delivered very good, strong returns this year. And meanwhile, bonds reemerged as a very important asset class in 2024, as we saw tons of money just poured into bonds in 2024. And through it all, the Fed has played a pivotal role in shaping all of these trends. Now, remember, as we think about 2024, we can look back and learn some lessons. And I think that's important. We need to stay informed. We need to be adaptable, especially if we're trying to be do-it-yourself investors. Markets are dynamic, and being prepared for both opportunities and challenges in 2025 is really what's going to set successful investors apart. By the way, coming up in January on our weekly webcast that I do for our members, we're going to be sharing our 2025 market outlook, and I can't wait to share that with you. I'll share a little bit of tidbit of it here on this podcast in January. I'll kind of give you an idea of some of the things we're talking about, but if you want the full-blown market outlook, be sure to tune into that members-only webcast that's going to be coming up in January. Okay, so now that we've recapped the year's major financial events, let's shift our focus to the educational resources we've developed here at Follow the Money to help you navigate these markets. So up next, I'm going to share some insights from our recently concluded 30-minute breakout blueprint day trading course. I'm going to give you a sneak peek also into our upcoming Swing Trading Simplified course that's launching in January of 2025. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Follow the Money Weekly. And here's Jerry Robinson.
Well, welcome back, friends, to one of the longest running personal finance podcasts anywhere. Founded in 2010, we've been helping people just like you all around the world become better investors, learning how to trade, learning how to invest for the long term, whether it's stocks, real estate, cryptos, hard assets, whatever it is. That's what we do here at followthemoney.com. So welcome back to the podcast. And this segment, the second segment here, I want to shift gears a bit. And I want to talk about something that's at the very heart of what we do here at followthemoney.com, and that is education. Our mission here has always been about empowering individuals just like you to take control of your financial future. And one of the best ways that we do that is by equipping you with the knowledge and tools to succeed in today's ever-changing markets. So in 2024, we really doubled down on our commitment to education, and we began launching some new courses designed to help traders and investors sharpen their skills and to navigate the growing complexities of the financial markets today. So what I want to share with you in this segment are some of the highlights from our recently concluded 30-minute breakout blueprint day trading course. And I want to give you a sneak peek also into our brand new Swing Trading Simplified course, which is launching in January of 2025. So whether you're a day trader, a swing trader, somewhere in between, or maybe you're just aspiring to be a trader, well, these courses are really tailored to help you thrive in any market condition. Now, let's start with the 30-minute breakout blueprint. This is a day trading course that just wrapped up this week. And this course was built for traders who are serious about developing a structured, rules-based approach to day trading. I cut my teeth as a day trader back in the 1990s as I was learning how to trade. I no longer day trade today, mainly because of my time, but also because I've learned over time that I prefer to do more position trading. And so therefore, I'm not a day trader today, but I have in the past, and I've learned a lot of things over the years, and I've coached many day traders over the years. And so this course was really built for that aspiring day trader. And over the period of 10 modules, which we delivered over several weeks, we dove into the details of our 30-minute breakout blueprint strategy, and we taught traders how to identify high probability setups, set effective stop losses and profit targets, and how to execute trades with confidence. Now, as I mentioned, the 30-minute breakout blueprint is a focused, rules-based day trading strategy designed to help traders capitalize on relatively short-term moves in the market. And as the markets open, the volatility spikes and the price action can either make or break a trader's day. This strategy helps traders identify those high probability breakout opportunities without getting caught up in the emotional decision making that is such a common pitfall for new traders. And over the course of the recently completed training, I shared a step-by-step system for setting clear entry and exit points while managing risk with precision. This strategy is built on the concept of discipline. So we observe the markets first, and then we act second. And this method avoids these premature trades that are so common among new and aspiring day traders. And it teaches them to let the market set the stage before you take action. We talked about some really important essential tools in the blueprint, like VWAP, the volume weighted average price. We talked about the importance of using other indicators as well, and the importance of the price range and stop loss placement. All of these things ensuring that traders have a framework that they can use no matter what the market conditions are. And what makes this strategy unique is its simplicity. That's what we kept hearing from our members, was they really liked the fact that it was so easy to learn, straightforward to implement, and highly repeatable, which is really what you're looking for when you're looking for a trading strategy. By the way, the response to this course has been overwhelmingly positive. Traders who have struggled with inconsistency are finding confidence in a structured, no-nonsense approach through our 30-minute breakout blueprint. And participants have told me that they appreciate how the blueprint removes the guesswork and helps them trade with clarity even when the markets are somewhat choppy. There's just a lot here in this 10-video module course. And at its core, the 30-minute breakout blueprint is really about building habits of observation, patience, discipline. Right? It's not about chasing every trade. It's not about trying to trade everything that moves. It's about those high probability setups, how to spot them, and then tilting the odds in your favor by using very smart strategies to profit. Now, if you're serious about improving your day trading skills, strategies like this one can make all the difference. It's not magic, it's method, right? It's method. This is what we teach, and the results come to those who follow the rules. So we've been very happy to hear from our members. The feedback we've been getting has been phenomenal. One participant told us that this course completely changed their trading approach when it came to day trading. They finally feel in control of their trading instead of letting their emotions dictate their decisions. Another member reached out and shared how they had started to see profits for the first time in their day trading. And I mean real profits, not just $10 here, $20 there, but actually making some decent money, all thanks to the systematic strategy that we taught. Now, one of the key takeaways from this new course that we've just released was the importance of discipline, right? And you have to stick to your rules to get that kind of consistent return. And that's exactly what this course delivered, a repeatable, reliable system for navigating the fast-paced world of day trading. So that course is now online in its entirety. Our members can go to followthemoney.com/courses, and they'll see it at the very top of the page. Of course, there's many other courses on that page as well we've done over the years. Now, as we look ahead to 2025, I am thrilled to announce our latest course that's upcoming. It's entitled Swing Trading Simplified. Swing trading, as many of you know, is a powerful strategy that captures those medium-term market movements, right? Typically lasting for a few days, just to a few weeks. It's a perfect approach for those who want the excitement of active trading without the intensity that's required with day trading. So the Swing Trading Simplified course is our newest training. It's launching in January of 2025, so next month, and it's designed to help traders navigate the markets with a proven, structured approach to swing trading. So for those of you who want to take advantage of that short to medium term, trading style, those short-term market movements, but you don't want to have to sit in front of a screen all day long, this is going to be the course for you. So swing trading focuses upon capturing trends that play out over several days, sometimes even a couple of weeks. And it allows you to identify and act on those high probability opportunities while balancing other commitments in your life. Let's be honest, a lot of times we're just very busy. And so swing trading can be a lot more easy to do than day trading, which you really have to be stuck right in front of the computer to do. But it all depends upon your situation. Some people have time to do that. And if you have time to sit in front of your computer, day trading can make a lot of sense. But if you don't, as the majority of us don't, then swing trading could be a good solution. So in this course, I walk you through a clear and repeatable system for pinpointing when to enter trades, when to take profits, and most importantly, how to manage risk. We cover tools and techniques that help traders spot key trend reversals, continuation signals, and we also spend some time talking about some easy to follow steps, step-by-step process, and just some basic swing trading concepts that I think many people might just overlook when they're learning swing trading. So I think this course is going to be another tool in your arsenal. It's going to help you trade smarter, stay on track. And I'm really excited about the course because it combines our timeless principles with practical real-world strategies that anyone can apply. So if you're looking for a way to simplify your trading and adopt a disciplined approach to the markets, then this upcoming course could be a game changer for you. So I want you to stay tuned for the launch in January, Swing Trading Simplified. That course is coming, and I can't wait to help you take your trading to the next level. Now, before we wrap up today's episode, I have something really exciting to share with all of you, our way of kind of giving back to this amazing community that has supported Follow the Money throughout the years. And we're thrilled to announce our December 2024 giveaway. So one lucky winner will receive a 1-year gold membership, completely free. That is a full 12-month access to our premium resources, including our trading strategies, exclusive weekly webcasts, our latest day trading course, the 30-minute breakout blueprint, our upcoming swing trading course, all of that. This membership is valued at $480, and it could be yours absolutely free. Now, here's how to enter. It's simple. Just head over to our website, followthemoney.com/giveaway. Let me repeat it. followthemoney.com/giveaway. And you'll see a simple entry form there. All we ask is that you share your name and your email address with us. And then tell us what topics, guests, or ideas you'd like to see featured on future episodes of the Follow the Money podcast. That's it. Right? Once you complete the form, you're automatically entered to win. And here's the best part. This giveaway is open to everyone, including our current members. So if you've been enjoying your membership and you want to extend it for free, here's your chance. Now, we're randomly going to select one winner and announce their name on our next podcast episode. And we're also going to notify the winner directly by email. So don't miss out on the opportunity to kick off the new year with a full year of premium access to followthemoney.com. Head to the site, followthemoney.com/giveaway. Share your thoughts and get your entry in before it's too late. And I want to say good luck to everyone who enters, and thank you again for being a part of our followthemoney.com family. We'll be right back. Friends, welcome back to the final moments of today's broadcast. And as we close out today's episode, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've covered today. We began by revisiting the financial highlights of 2024, a year that brought record highs in the S&P 500, Bitcoin, gold, the Dow, and many others, along with some monumental shifts in monetary policy and the global markets. And then we explored the importance of education and strategy in trading and investing. We shared some insights from our 30-minute breakout blueprint course, and we previewed the exciting Swing Trading Simplified course that's launching next month. And I think the takeaway from today's episode is pretty simple. Success in trading and investing requires preparation, education, and the willingness to adapt to ever-changing market conditions. The markets don't reward complacency, but they do reward those who are informed, disciplined, and strategic in their approach. And now, I'd like to leave you with a final word, which is a thought to carry into the new year, a reflection on how we engage with the world around us, and most importantly, within us. And this quote comes from Marcus Aurelius, who was a Roman emperor in the 2nd century AD. I've been recently rereading Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. It's a very short book of it's actually like 12 books, which was a personal journal that Marcus Aurelius kept for himself, and he never intended to publish the book. It's a fascinating read. But here's a quote from Meditations by Marcus Aurelius when he said, "You always have the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone." Now let that sink in for a moment. How often do we let external events, things that are far beyond our control, steal our peace? The latest headline, a market dip, someone's opinion on social media. These things swirl around us constantly, begging for our attention, daring us to form a judgment. But here's the truth. We don't have to. As Marcus reminds us, you always have the choice to simply not form an opinion. You don't have to get worked up about things that are happening outside of you, right? You don't have to trouble your soul. Instead, you can leave those things alone. Because here's the thing, nothing external can harm us unless we allow it first into our minds. It's when we form an opinion about an external action or an external deed or an external piece of news that causes us to lose our peace. It's only when we form an opinion about it. Marcus also said this, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. I don't know about you, but I find that to be incredibly liberating. The power to revoke our distress lies entirely within us. It is not the external event. It is how we choose to perceive that external event. This doesn't mean that we ignore our problems or stick our heads in the sand. It means that we choose what deserves our energy, what deserves our focus, what deserves our peace, and quite frankly, what deserves our opinions. And as we move into 2025, let's resolve to guard our minds more fiercely. Let's choose wisely what and who we allow to take root in our thoughts. We can't control the markets. We can't control the economy. We can't control world events. Heck, we can't even control other people. But we can control how we respond. And that makes all the difference. And that is just something to think about. Friends, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey throughout 2024. It has been an honor to share this time with you, and I'm truly grateful for your continued support and engagement here at followthemoney.com. Don't forget to enter our December giveaway for a chance to win a 1-year gold membership. Simply visit followthemoney.com/giveaway to enter for a chance to win. Also, mark your calendars for the launch of our Swing Trading Simplified course coming up in January of 2025. It's going to be another fantastic opportunity to grow as a trader and an investor. I wish each and every one of you a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. I look forward to seeing you in 2025 when we return with our next Follow the Money podcast episode. And remember, when you want the truth about the global economy, just follow the money. Have a safe and prosperous New Year. And I'll look forward to seeing you right back here next time. Until then, God bless.
Contained on the Follow the Money podcast is strictly for informational and educational purposes. It should not be construed as specific investment advice. The views and opinions of our guests and sponsors, including Tom Cloud, are their own and do not necessarily represent the views of FTMDaily.com or Robinson Media Group, LLC. Jerry Robinson does hold an insurance license and at times may offer consulting on life insurance and fixed retirement income products. Follow-up, individualized responses to email or phone requests that involve the rendering of personalized investment advice for compensation will not be made absent compliance with state investment advisor registration requirements or an applicable exemption or exclusion and applicable insurance regulations. Past performance is not indicative of future results. You should be aware of the real risk of loss in following any strategy or investment discussed on the podcast. Remember, never do your financial planning through podcast or radio. It's your money. Be wise. Do your due diligence and always consult a trusted financial professional before making